How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode, episode number 7 here at the second half of the 2021-22 regular season, year number 2 on January 1st of the 2022 calendar year. In the last one, we simmed the first 38 games of the season with a record of 23-13-2. We found ourselves in an interesting position wherein our top players are doing relatively well. 35-38, 32-38 here. Reinhart, Bjorkstrand, 17 goals for Line A. Not amazing like what we were seeing last season, but still, serviceable. The biggest issue is at the bottom over here, where our players such as Andreas Athanasiu, Jack Roslovic, Boone Jenner, our third liners, -13, -12. We're not getting that support in the bottom 6, which was the most surprising part. Our goaltending was not bad, but not amazing. Korpisalo with a great record, decent numbers. Drieger with good numbers, but a not so good record. So we're in a tough spot where we don't need to blow things up. We don't need to make any drastic changes, but we need to keep an eye on things before things go too south too quickly. So with all that being said, we went into the comments we will go into the comments in this one to look to find answers to some of those questions, including some possible trades we might be making, depth moves, bottom 6 moves, maybe bigger moves when we get closer to the deadline, etc. So without further ado, let's hop into it. First off, we have the question of captaincy. In the last one, we continued into season number 2 with 3 alternates being Jenner, Atkinson, and Jones. I believe I will name a captain heading into the playoffs, so continue to get your votes in for our next episode. At the moment, Slippery Salmon says captain has to go to Boone. He's probably the next in line in real life. Or give it to Cam because he's the longest tenured and was always loved here. Either way, this team needs good veteran leadership. And then at the same time, over in the Discord server, Addy left some points which were started off with number 1 saying the issue of captaincy. The clear cut has to be Seth Jones. Now that we have him extended long term, we have to keep him happy. He also happens to be the most talented player we have, and he's likely going to be a huge part of the franchise moving forward. So we did get Seth Jones extended in the last episode to a very team-friendly contract, I have to say. 6.550 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. 6 by 6.550. Very team friendly to say the least. So I think the chances of him staying on this team are probably higher than ever. But at the same time, I'm still not absolutely totally sold on keeping him. If things don't go well, he is a two-way D, which kind of hurts his value to this team. Same for Werenski. A lot of people have been saying do blockbusters, blow up the team. Werenski and Jones, trade them both away for Quinn Hughes and JT Miller. That was another option. In Addy's comment, one of his points on talking about blockbusters. But at the same time, we are second in the division. We're halfway through the season. We have a good winning record. I don't think right now is the time to blow up a team. I'm always down for a blow up. No problem. I'm down. I'm ready. I'm there. But at the same time, I want to hold to realism as much as possible. The team is playing quite well. The bottom 6 is struggling. The goaltending was a bit shaky. But I don't think that is grounds when we're second in the division halfway through the year to completely strip the team of our best players and make big trades for, honestly, kind of the same players that you always see in a lot of franchise modes. A lot of people always try to get those same player types, unfortunately, due to the chemistry being so terrible. It's always the same power forwards, always the same offensive defensemen. So I'd like to stay away from going after Quinn Hughes. There's no chance that Vancouver would ever want to trade him in the real world, even if it's a 1-for-1 with Zach Werenski, or if we give them Werenski and Jones for Hughes and Miller. And could have happened, yeah. But I like the team we've built here. I want, Columbus, the ownership team brought us in here to stop the bleeding and win with the team we had now and not let more names go out the door. We locked down these players. We don't need to get players who are going to come and then contract issues again. Werenski, Jones, hopefully Reinhart if he signs a contract we sent him last episode, Bjorkstrand, Line, these guys are getting locked down and we want to build around those pieces. So that being said, looking at Addy's other points in Discord server, he says goaltending, maybe we think about Leonard, Markstrom, or Cam Talbot. Talbot probably being the most realistic if we do make a goaltending change. The putrid 4th line has been terrible. Athanasiu has been awful. I say we trade him and get Foodie to play 4th line minutes. Improve the penalty kill and the power play. Blockbuster trades, think about Ryan Dzingel, Chiasson, moving Athanasiu, or even that big Vancouver deal as was mentioned earlier. So a lot of it is not sure if it's going to happen, but as we get closer to the deadline, we'll figure out more. At the very least, I already went ahead and did this. I put Nick Bonino into the lineup. He has not even played for us yet. We signed him to 1 year, $1.6 million. He has been depth. He's been waiting in the press box, ready to go. I already put him into the lineup because Athanasiu is not playing anymore, whether he be a scratch or traded. 5 points, -12 in 38 games. We signed him for 2 years, 3.75. He has been just abysmal. I know he fits better on the second line, but I'm not going to put him on that second line. I'd rather have my big boys there who I can trust a little bit more. So Athanasiu is absolutely gone. Now the question is, what do we move him for? Like Addy said, there are guys like shakeup and Simmons, Spezza. Vinny James left a comment, especially since Simmons and Spezza are both on the trade block for Toronto. Vinny really likes Athanasiu for Spezza and Simmons because they both provide veteran depth. Spezza as a fourth-line center and Simmons injury reserve, or even playing fourth line since Rozovic has not been playing very well. And then to follow up on that, Zach in the Discord server, he says not to trade for Simmons and Spezza because they want to live in Toronto. I agree with that, but at the same time, they're both on the block. So I'm down to trade for Simmons, but I don't want to touch Spezza because, as Zach says, he would even retire if he was moved. So I would prevent that move from happening. We actually need more goals, so think about trading Laine for Tarasenko. Laine, I'm still not giving up on him yet. He scored 40 goals last season. Exactly 40 goals. He has 17 and 38 this year. So I don't think I want to move Laine just yet. Or even at all, being honest, if we could prevent that. But going out and getting Wayne Simmons would be very, very interesting for us. He is on the block, despite Toronto being a winning team. So I'm not going to complain with that if he's on the block. I won't go after Spezza, but Simmons is 81 overall, He is 33 years of age, signed for 2 years at like a super cheap contract, 20 points plus 9, fits the third line as well. So it sounds like a match made in heaven if we were to trade Simmons and even get like a pick back in exchange for Athanasiu, who has more trade value. So I think this could be a very good deal. Still not going to pull the trigger just yet. We got to work through the rest of the comments here. But just to say, that is a depth move that we absolutely want to address before we think about doing big blow-ups of trading Domi and Jenner and everybody else when it's not necessary just yet. Old Man Sports, who had such a huge role in last episode, says he is truly humbled to have me spend 5 minutes reading his musings. Nothing but a pleasure, brother. He would definitely sell high on Athanasiu. That 83 may not last long after the season he is having. Things are off to a good start. Love the moves made, and Sam Reinhart potentially returning. Hopefully he signs that extension. So, Athanasiu being on his way out sounds like a foregone conclusion at this point, unfortunately. MVL12K7 says that we could think about trading Jones or Domi for defensive replacements or a second-line center, or even one of the two goalies to get better prospects or high picks. All of that is absolutely possible. I just want to wait until we're a bit closer to the deadline before we think about actually doing that just yet. Great content as always. Let's go Data. Thank you very much, my friend. Last comment coming from $2 a slice. Love the name. Try Drieger in the slow sim for 3 games to see how he sims there. We've been seeing a big dichotomy between slow sim and calendar sim, where Korpisalo does well in the calendar, but then when we go into the game, he's just absolutely terrible. Try Drieger there, see how he does. He may be bad at the quick sim, but good in the slow sim. I think you need to put together a 2-goalie system. One for the regular season quick sims, and one for the playoff slow sims. It's really frustrating that you have to do that since it's unrealistic, but according to EA, it's great. So we will give Drieger a few games to see how he does in the slow simulation. Like I said, their numbers have been okay, but if we look just at exclusively at the slow sim numbers of Korpisalo, that's where his numbers go down. It's 904, 277. Remove those few games where he went into the slow sim where he lets in like 7 goals. We lose 6-4 to the Penguins there. What were some other games along the way where we had lost here? 6-4 loss. There was a 7-2 loss against the Panthers here. So just stuff like that where the slow sim is just such a, such randomization. We don't need that. So as I've been saying, don't want to do any big deals just yet. I put Max Domi on the block. I'm thinking about moving him. If anyone were to move, I think it would be realistic if Max Domi were to move. We did send him an extension. We got him extended, I believe, as well. Yeah, he accepted that extension. It should show it even as well. He's making 5.3 now. We signed for 5 years at 3.975. Not a bad deal at all. But at the same time, you might need a better second-line center, and that might mean putting, I don't know, Boone Jenner at second-line center, and we get a better winger, or keeping Boone Jenner third-line center, and we just get a second-line center outright. A lot of different possibilities. Don't want to pull the trigger on that yet, because he's been doing quite well. Just so we have a lot of playmakers on the team. You know, Reinhardt has a lot of assists. Texay has a lot of assists. Domi has a lot of assists. So we need guys who are going to be scoring goals. Looking at that Toronto Maple Leafs move now, Wayne Simmonds coming over from the Toronto Maple Leafs. I wouldn't mind even getting, I don't know, a prospect instead of a pick, but I'm not sure if they really want to throw any of these guys in, nor am I particularly interested in them. So I think a draft pick probably just makes the most sense. If they would give me a third and a fourth, that would be great. So what do you say to this, Toronto? Kyle Dubas, trade rejected, no problem. See if I can, the third is the most important piece. Just a third and a sixth maybe. Dubas, no. Third round pick, still doesn't want to do it in 2023, eh? Fourth and a seventh, still, I'm going to keep going until it works. 2 sixths and a seventh, no. I'm surprised that this isn't going through. 2 sixths, just 1 sixth, trade accepted. Thank you very much, Mr. Dubas. Andreas Athanasiu and his terrible plus-minus and cap hit off the Toronto Maple Leafs for Wayne Simmonds and a 6th round pick. We have quite a few picks in this draft. 1 first, 2 thirds, a 4th, a 5th, 2 sixths, and 2 sevenths. So not too shabby on the draft front, which is very important, as you should know in franchise mode. Wayne Simmonds does fit the third line, so let's see if I can get the chemistry to work as well, because if we're looking at how good, yeah, actually the second line's pretty good as well. He could be a sneaky little chemistry fit. So let's put him in the lineup. Gives us a +1 when replacing Andrew Shaw. So hopefully Simmonds can help Jenner and Roslovic, who have been terrible. And then Robinson, who's been good on the third line, can be good on the fourth line and help out Kurashev, and now Bonino will be here as well. So if need be, I'll move Roslovic down. I'll bring Shaw back in the lineup. Whatever has to be done will be done. But we even swap Jenner and Domi here if we wanted to move that around. Simmonds could move and give up a +3 on the second line. Possibly a +5. No +5 on the first line. But he could give a +3 to the second line. So keep that in mind, especially Bjorkstrand, because then that keeps a +1 on the third line. Lots of different possibilities we can do. Swapping Jones for Simmonds on power play number 2 gives the unit a +3 as opposed to a +1. So maybe that will be helpful as well, because our special teams were struggling a little bit. He doesn't fit necessarily here. No, I won't be able to put him on the penalty kill. So I'll probably just switch him out entirely. Bonino, yeah, Bonino works well. 80 face-offs, there we go. Even if I switch him here, no. All right, perfect. So Bonino can play penalty kill minutes as well as the fourth line center role. So without further ado, we're ready to keep on simulating. That little depth move could be all we needed to get done here. I'm going to have Chris Driedger in nets for this game coming up against the Penguins. We're going to slow sim it, see if that changes anything, how he does in general. It's against a good team here and a big divisional rival, no less. So a win would be very, very desired as we are at PPG Paints Arena to take on the Penguins with Wayne Simmonds in the lineup. First period, 1-1, Sam Reinhart and Jake Gensel. Korpisalo, of course, got swapped back in because we advanced today. My bad. Second period, no scoring despite having a 5-on-3 power play to open the period. Heading into the third, game tied at 1. Shots are quite even, 23-21 at that moment. Now Penguins slightly pulling away, but now we come back into it. 26-24 Penguins halfway through the third period, still a 1-1 game. Both goalies playing strong here in this first game of 2022, and Patrick Laine beats Casey DeSmith to put us up by 1. Under 3 to go, still a 2-1 game. Final minute, and the Blue Jackets hang on for a huge 2-1 win. And Korpisalo makes 31 saves on 32 shots. That's what, oh no, he actually got pulled, likely due to injury. Ooh, so actually Driedger played really well. Laine the game-winning goal, and he had an assist. Big day for him. Let's see what that tells us here. No, okay. So it wasn't a big injury because he is still healthy. Whew, that was a close one. We could have called up Mattis, but no need for that just yet. Let me get Driedger in for this one. Yeah, okay, thank goodness. But a good goaltending tandem right there, little tag team action. Let's sim this one as well. I want to see Chris Driedger fully in the slow sim. and how he performs. First period, 3-0 Blue Jackets. Texier twice, Kurashev as well. All three going past Koskinen within 9 minutes. Second period, 6-0 Bjorkstrand on the power play. Boone Jenner, Max Domi, 3 on Koskinen, 3 on Stuart Skinner. Both Edmonton goalies now on the Devils. 6-0 through 2 periods, 3 and 3 in the first and second, outshooting them 31-22 at the moment. Let's just finish this one off. 6-1 the final. Holtz breaks the shutout, but no matter. Huge night for Drieger, making 27 saves, 2 goals from the playmaker Alex Texier, and Bjorkstrand a goal and an assist. The slow sim seems to be our friend at the moment. Let's keep on doing it. Let's just keep on slow simming. Reinhart, easy decision to renew that contract after all the possible issues we may have had if he didn't resign. Agents and propaganda and rumors and tweets. People didn't know what was going to happen, but Sam Reinhart signs on long-term with the Blue Jackets. Great to have him on board. That deal, if anyone wants a refresher, as would I, is for 7.775 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons. 7 times 7.775. Lots of sevens in there. So with all those deals being made, all those extensions to Werenski, Jones, and Reinhart, we now have $18.288 million for everybody else. That is a lot of money and more than enough in my opinion. Just over $18 million. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Penguins beat the Oilers 10-1, by the way, in the top left corner. And it's in the top right corner if you saw that. Chris Drieger, going to put him back in nets again and keep on slow simming. Perfect, because that seems to be a recipe that is working well through those 2 games. Lightning are 23-15-4. We're 25-13-2. Let's hit it. First period, 1-1. Max Domi scores early on Dubnyk, then Kucherov on the power play. Second period, 3-1. We're being outshot 12-4, and now 23-10. Stevens and Stamkos. We're down by 2 here in the third period, but we're not getting any shots. We can't score if we're not getting shots here, boys. And Alex Texier on the power play. He's been on a tear here in the year 2022. Power play doesn't come to anything, and we're down by 1. Another power play opportunity now, but Yanni Gourde, right as ours expires, makes it a 2-goal lead once again. Down 4-2 with under 5 to go. Late heroics will be necessary, but Stamkos just ices it. 5-2 the final. 31 shots, 5 goals on 31 shots. I'm not going to blame Drieger on that one. We left him out to dry, and we were not scoring enough to keep ourselves in the game. Seth Jones, fractured jaw, out for almost a month. Yikes, that is big. That is big. Gavrikov can go to the second pair, and Dean Kukan will slot onto D pairing number 3. Kukan was very good last season when he was playing almost full-time. Half the season. He had 10 points in 42 games and was a +5. So I'm not upset that Kukan's coming in the lineup. I'm just upset that Seth Jones is out of the lineup. So give me a second to fix up all the spots that wherever Seth Jones was. All right, that is all taken care of. Gavrikov going to be getting a lot more ice time in coming games here next 3 weeks or so. We're at Madison Square Garden up against the New York Rangers. Let's try and keep the slow sim luck going. First period, 1-1. Alex Texier just absolutely on fire with another goal right there. Strome scores late to tie it up. Second period, 2-1 Rangers. Jacob Trouba. We are down by 1, outshooting the Rangers by a bit, heading into the final 20 minutes. 5 minutes into it, nothing coming, but at least we're pulling away in the shots a little bit now. 23-19, halfway through the third period, but we need to capitalize. We have no penalties, no power plays on either side. It's been clean hockey, hard fought, defensive, not too many shots for either team, and the Rangers hang on for a 2-1 victory. Oh, that's brutal. Drieger played well there, but just Shesterkin standing tall. Oh, and we couldn't break through him. A tough 2-1 loss. So 2 wins and then 2 losses after the trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's do it here at Scotiabank Arena. We're continuing the road trip around the Eastern Conference. And I think we're at home against the Red Wings next game. First period, 3-1. Yikes. Malgin, Tavares, and Nylander. Gabriel Carlson scoring on Jack Campbell. Second period, 4-1. Mitch Marner. Down by 3 here in the third. I guess we'll get Korpisalo back in, and then Kerfoot, forget it. 5-1. 2 wins, and then 3 straight L's. That hurts. I don't know if it's just because of Seth Jones, goaltending. I'm not sure what. Texier has been a man on a mission. Get him in your fantasy lineups. But aside from that, not seeing enough from guys like Cam Atkinson right now. Let's try and get that +3 then. Let's try and do it. Simmons +3 on the second line. And I don't know, Falk's been okay. What's the plus minuses like here? Kukan, -1 in 2 games. Yeah, we don't know enough just yet. And goaltending, I'm going to swap Drieger and get Korpisalo in there. Let's get these next few games done. We'll go back to the calendar because we can't slow sim every game. But let's do a good little handful of them as we get closer to Jones being back right after the All-Star break. So actually that helps us. The All-Star break will absolutely help us. We'll go see the Edmonton Oilers. Mikey LaForge, the created goalie, franchise 88 overall, and the Edmonton Oilers. We'll go see them. 3-2 win in the shootout against the Red Wings. Don't want to do that trade. No, thank you. Dean Kukan, strained hamstring. Out for just a few games, but that's a pain because now I need to call somebody up to fill in that spot. And all of them have to go through waivers, so I guess I'll take a risk on someone, and that'll be Mikko Lehtinen, who's playing very often. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's a full-timer in the NHL. So Mikko Lehtinen will get to play for a few games to replace Kukan. All right, that's all taken care of. Third and a fourth in Benino. That's not terrible, but I'm okay. And then another offer. Chiasson and a fourth for Atkinson and a seventh. No, thank you. Beat the Blues 5-2. Very nice. Philadelphia Flyers. We shut them out 4-0. There we go. Get that calendar luck going. Let's get a little run ourselves. And be like, we beat them 3-2 in a shootout. Kukan fully healed. Mikko Lehtinen was a good little good luck charm for us. Let's see how he did. He had a +1 in 2 games. Hey, cannot complain about that. And I'll try to, I don't know, should I risk sending him back down? I'll wait until Seth Jones is back before I send him back down. But that is now a 4-game winning streak for us. A third in Benino for a second. Don't need that. And we beat the Vegas Golden Knights 5-3. So we come into this game against the Oilers on a 5-game winning streak. And we're now 30-16-2, taking on the 27-15-7 Oilers. Let's do it. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Mikey LaForge between the pipes. Here we go. First period, 0-0, shots 13-7 for the Oilers. Second period now, 2-0 Edmonton. McDavid and Draisaitl, there they are. Korpisalo lets in 2-on-21 through 40 minutes. We need to get some scoring past Mikey LaForge. Power play opportunity for us. Nothing comes from it. Still down by 2, a quarter through this third period, Now halfway through his time flies, but Oliver Bjorkstrand gets us on the board, but McDavid right back 13 seconds later. That's the Connor McDavid effect, as Bjorkstrand got a huge goal, but McDavid just put us right back down to sleep. And that'll be all she wrote. A 3-1 victory for the Oilers. 3 goals on 31 shots against Korpisalo. Not bad at all. But we didn't muster enough offense, and Mikey LaForge was strong. 20 saves on 21 shots. 2 goals from Connor McDavid, and that'll snap the 5-game winning streak. That's all right. One more game before the All-Star break, so we'll sim through the Ducks, and we'll go see the Kings once Seth Jones is back in the lineup. Ducks 2-1 loss. That's brutal. So we won 2, lost 3, won 5, and now lost our last 2. In the end, Dean Kukan, 7 games, 1 assist, -1. Not too shabby. Wayne Simmons, what have you done so far? He has 5 assists in 12 games with a -1. Not bad at all. And Nick Bonino, I want to see what is he doing in the NHL. 1 goal in 12 games and a +2. That's what we pay him to do. Just be strong defensively. So I'm going to send down Lehtinen. Do I need to, though? It would be good for Cleveland if I did. So I'm going to send down Lehtinen and get Jones back in the lineup. All taken care of and good to go now at the 31st of January up against the LA Kings. Coconut Hobbs now. We took on Mikey LaForge. Now we're taking on Coconut Hobbs, the other created goalie here in this universe. Let's see what we can do up against them. First period, 1-1. Gavrikov opens up the scoring. Then Kempe on the power play. Second period, 4-3. High-scoring period. Evander Kane. And then Oliver Bjorkstrand answers right back on the power play, followed by Kopitar. Even strength right away. But then Bjorkstrand says, hold on, let me come back and get another one. His second of the period, and a minute later, Laine says, hold on, you think you're the only sniper on this team? I scored 40 last year. I got to pick it up a little bit. I've been hearing them talking in the media. Let me just get one. No worries. 4-3 for the Blue Jackets after 2. Shots are only 20-15, but 7 goals have been scored. We've been answering well, and we have a nice little lead that we don't want to lose. Power play for the Kings. We kill it off. Very nice. Let's add to this lead ASAP, my friends, as they have shown their ability to score. And there it is. Dustin Brown, 4-4 now. Shots 26-23. Power play for the Blue Jackets. This is a huge one, and it's killed off by the Kings. Under 5 to go. Momentum going back and forth as well. Under a minute left now. We're headed to overtime. Shots are 32-25 in our favor. Will there be a hero in overtime for the Blue Jackets? Or are we headed to the shootout? Yes, we are. Oh, and in the shootout, first game after the All-Star break, heading into the month of February, with the division up in the air, we drop it in the shootout. Reinhart scores for us, but then Doughty and Evander Kane score for the Kings. We still get 1 point, which is always appreciated. Do not say no to the points, but we are now 30-18-3 through the first 51 games of the year, and we are still behind the Flyers and the Penguins with the Rangers on our backs. So every point will be very, very important. I probably should have paused after the All-Star break to check the points, but I'll take a quick moment now to scroll through it for anyone curious. 48-51 for Reinhart and 47 for Bjorkstrand. 22 goals for Patrick Laine. But look at this, by the way. I just totally forgot to look at this. 29 goals for Oliver Bjorkstrand right now. He is shooting like crazy at 23.4% right now. That is wild. Texay has 30 points. Domi 30 points. Falk 29, but a -5. So I might swap around the defensive pairs again. Wayne Simmons has 6 points in 13 games. He got another one. Renski. Atkinson, 23-51 is killing me a bit. Boone Jenner still -14. So that, yeah, -16 for Roslovic. It's time to swap things up a little bit, I think. Bonino's been okay. Yeah, time to swap things up a little bit. Probably get Andrew Shaw back in the lineup. Goaltending-wise, Korpisalo 909 with 263. Drieger 3-9-0. That's crazy because numbers do not reflect that. It's been really bad luck for Chris Drieger. Let's make a couple little changes in the lineup here. Give me a sec. It's hard to figure out who to take out of the lineup because Kurashev's been playing well. Maybe I put, I guess I'll take Bonino out, but he's been doing okay. It's just I don't want to take Roslovic out right now. I know he's not playing well, but he has potential and overall. I don't want to take Roslovic out of the equation here. I know he's not playing well at -16, but he's still listed as a second line. How is he listed as a second line forward? So I guess we'll do that. Andrew Shaw with 76 face. Yeah, he can play on the right wing. That's the change we'll make. Atkinson can play with Jenner and Robinson. Well, Robinson's going to be moved up to play with Jenner and Atkinson. Falk's going to switch back with Jones. Let's try and get the +5 rolling again with Kyle Wood and Carlson Gavrikov staying on that bottom pair and Korpisalo between the pipes. Let's keep on rolling here in the month of February. Not too much to do before I have to pause for scouting again, but we can still get a few more games in. Around the, I don't know, where will I pause here? The 6th? Let's go after the game against the Flyers, and we'll pause against the Islanders. So big divisional game going to be, that will be against the Flyers into the month of February now. 6-2 win against the Edmonton Oilers. That's what we want to see. We get shut out 3-0 against the Capitals. Detroit Red Wings, we beat them in overtime 3-2. And then the Flyers in Philadelphia beat us 5-2. So we are 32-20-3. Going to pause now for the scouting, update all of that, and then I'll be back in a second. That is all taken care of. Always fun to fly through some scouting, and now it's time to fly through some calendar simulation. Next big divisional matchup up against the Philadelphia Flyers once again. Actually, the Islanders, where are they in our division? They're actually pretty low down there. Yeah, 22, 27, and 5. So, okay, we'll go see the Flyers, who are 31, 14, and 9 at the moment. Hopefully things change before next week. 4-2 loss against the, and then Lettinen injured. 4-2 was against the Islanders. We can't be losing against teams like that who are under 500, so that is exceptionally shameful. Lettinen, get him swapped in. Perfect. I signed a goalie coach for the AHL squad because there wasn't one already, so hopefully that helps the development of Mattis, and he gets a bruised hand. Just speaking of him, that's cool. So Tarasov will be getting some more starts there, and I don't know, do we have a backup here? Oh, it's true, Berdin, the guy that I traded for from the Jets. Perfect. Mikhail Berdin. So 3-2 win against the Lightning. That's nice. Lettinen fully healed. Okay, so I guess that was pretty much a joke. Let's get him back in from Tim Burney. Mikko, there you go. Vegas and then Minnesota. A little back-to-back Western swing. Bang. 4-2 win, 5-3 win. We are 35-21-3, and the Flyers are 33-15-10. They've been better well, I mean, they've had less losses, but they've had more overtime losses. So here we go against the Flyers. This could have big implications down the road. First period, 0-0, shots 13-9 for Philly. Second period, 2-0 Flyers. Lindblom shorthanded, and Scott Lawton as well. Shots 22-21 in our favor. We're down by 2. Third period, we need to get something rolling here. We need anything to jumpstart us. Power play for the Flyers, that's not what we need. We kill it off, that could be the momentum swing, killing off a power play. Shots tied at 27 there, but we just cannot get anything going. Under 5 now. Where's that boom from Alex Texier that we were seeing before? And Ellis adds an empty netter. Great. These divisional games that we're dropping are going to hurt us, man. We're third in the division now, as the Flyers and the Penguins are just pulling away. Canadians, Wild. Yeah, let's just get through the Canadians and the Wild, and then we'll see if anything's going to happen before we head to the trade deadline. 4-3 loss against Montreal, and then we beat the Wild 5-3 a week ago, and now we lose them 4-3. Great. So we are now on a 3-game losing streak heading into the trade deadline, and I have not been particularly impressed with the goaltending, I have to say. Let's go back to the points here. What do we want to be looking at? Plus minuses. Falk is real. What? What's up with him and Kyle Wood? Where is Kyle Wood at? Kyle Wood, -10. Maybe it's that second defensive pair. If I could just get a really good defensive defenseman and move Wood to the third pair, if he's not going to grow and be that guy we were hoping for, then so be it. But, man. Andrew Shaw, he's a +10 with 12 points in 44 games. That's amazing. Good for him. Rozovic still -16. Boy. Seth Jones, 24 points in 53 games. I'm really tempted to get that blockbuster idea back in my mind. Wayne Simmons has 10 points in 24 games and is a -4. Domi, 33. Falk, that 36, man. 30 goals from Bjorkstrand. He's slowed down in the goal scoring. Line caught back up. He has 29 himself. Goalies, Korpisalo and Drieger, man. I need more insurance than Drieger. I need more insurance than that. Might make a goaltending swap, might make a defense swap. I'm going to look around the NHL and see what's up. Okay, so on the goalie front, I'm looking for a few boxes to check off. First, I need a team that's not really winning or on a trajectory to make the playoffs. Second, that team has to have 2 good goalies, such as a good backup or whatever. Like, I can't go and take Cam Talbot because he's been amazing and they wouldn't trade him and then keep Kaapo Kähkönen when he's been the starter and on an amazing record. At the same time, I can't go to a team like Nashville. Okay, they're not good, but I can't take Jussi Saros because they're definitely not going to want to put Askarov as their starter yet. So it has to be a situation that makes sense. If I give them Chris Drieger, it has to be, they're probably going to be taking him as a backup, etc. So there's a lot of 83s, 84s out there. Murachik, Allmark, a few other teams I was looking at. Georgiev would be great for us, but they're 32, 19, and 10. They're probably very happy with him as their backup right now. So I don't think they want to make a move like that just to get Chris Drieger, who is someone who's signed, who's also on an expiring deal. So it doesn't really help them out that much. One option that's been very tempting to me is over on the Sharks, Marc-Andre Fleury. Expiring deal, and he is 89 overall, still has starter potential. A team that's losing, he's going to be expiring anyways. They're probably going back to Jones as their starter, or they're going to get someone else in free agency anyways. They can kind of just chalk this up to whatever and give them Drieger end off the year just to be someone between the pipes, but the real piece is that I give them a prospect or a pick. If it doesn't work out, we have like no prospects. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I would like to try seeing if they would give us Marc-Andre Fleury for Chris Drieger and a 3rd-round pick. Fleury, his numbers are not amazing, but he's on a bad team. He has 90 points. He could be huge for the playoffs. I think that he would be happy to come to Columbus here. We tried to sign him already. He was close to signing with us before he signed with the Sharks. I think this makes a lot of sense for us. Korpisalo, take the load off him. He can be just the backup for the playoffs and then move back into the starter role next season if he's here. We don't know what because of the slow sim garbage. But what would the Sharks say to this? Trade accepted. We believe this transaction will contribute to our success here in San Jose. So we are accepting your trade offer. Thank you very much to the Sharks. Marc-Andre Fleury, welcome to the Columbus Blue Jackets. That is the splash that we needed to make here heading into the end of this season to say we are Stanley Cup contenders. We might not be the favorites. We might not be, odds on, whatever. But I think that we are ready to try and start making a push for deep playoff runs if we can just get the right team built around these players. So getting Marc-Andre Fleury between the pipes is a huge move for us. He has the poise, he has the experience, and he still has the ability. Only change I want to make still is on defense. If we can get a better defensive defenseman and move, I don't know. I know we'd have to move out Karlsson or Gavrikov. I don't know what, because like we moved Adam Pelech because we wanted Falk and Wood to have the +5. Wood has 15 points and is a -10. Falk has, yes, 36 points. That's great. And he's a -12, mostly from playing on that first pair. So do we have to move Werenski or Jones? Is this the point that I'm saying Jones is the guy who moves, but he's signed to such a good contract that I don't really want him to? If I move Jones, then Falk's on the first pair, but I don't know if Wood can cut it, to be honest. I love Kyle Wood. I don't know if he has what it takes right now. I don't know if he can cut it at the moment. Maybe even Gabriel Carlson's the guy who moves. He's 25 now. His growth is coming to an end. I guess maybe I move Gabriel Carlsson, go Wood and Gavrikov on the third pair, and then I get a better defensive defenseman on the second pair. You know, maybe not an Adam Pelech kind of guy, because that's the guy that we traded away. But we gave Gabriel Carlsson a chance. We gave Wood and Falk a chance. Now we need to do what's best for this franchise. Not what's best for one prospect. What is best for this franchise? So let me look around the NHL again, and I'll see what makes sense. So looking at defensive defensemen here, I'm really, really interested in Chris Tanev. He's been amazing, great plus-minus, but he's on the Flames. They have over 40 wins this year. He fits all defensive pairings. That's great, but it doesn't make sense that the Flames would want to trade him. He is doing amazing right now, and they're one of the best, if not the best teams in the NHL, if not the best team. Adam Larson fits all deep pairings. Maybe that makes more sense from the Anaheim Ducks, who are struggling a little bit. He is a -10 at the moment, but I believe he's been better in past years. He was a 0 last year on Edmonton. I don't know, he fits all defensive pairings, which is what makes me most tempted. Nick Jarmelson would be nice, but he doesn't fit any of the deep pairings, so I'm not going to bother going after him. And Mark-Edward Vlasic, he fits deep pairing 1 and has a terrible contract, so I'm not going to even bother. Josh Manson fits deep pairing 3 maybe. Logan Stanley, none. Pesci, none. Pelech, deep pairing 3, as we know. So, and then it gets way too much value. So I'm going to see if Adam Larson works, but it's still a fair bit of trade value. The Ducks, they were supposed to be one of the better teams in the league right this season. They're 27, 31, and 3 or whatever. So that is a huge shock to them because they really wanted to have a good year. Gabriel Carlsson's trade value is in the pits. I'm very surprised, actually. So that is not good news because it's going to take even more to get him now. Maybe we have to move a forward and then we take somebody back the other way as well. Our trade value is getting really dry. Domi, what's he up to this year? Domi, 8 goals, 25 assists. Because if we were to trade Domi, then we have a hole at second line center. Do they have a center that we could take here? So they don't want to trade a Sam Steele or Isaac Lundstrom. Adam Henrique, 3 years at 5.8. Now then I'm just really doing them a favor. Yeah, he fits the lineup, but he's a two-way forward. Fits the line as a two-way forward. Sam Steele, not a ton of value. Playmaker, top 6. Maybe Sam Steele makes sense. I don't know. Would they want to do this? Gabriel Carlsson and Max Domi for Adam Larson and Sam Steele. I don't think it's super close. His value is low for some reason. I don't like moving more picks, but I think next year we have, I don't know. Let's see if just throwing in a 4th. Carlsson, Domi, and a 4th for Larson and Steele. How close are we? Value is too far off. And then a 5th, and I give them back a 7th. Now how close are we with the 5th and a 4th? Just a bit low. My friends, this could happen. A 5th this season, a 4th next season, and then a 4th and a 5th next year, and a 4th this year. Max Domi, who has an extension, not a big deal that he's not only 1 year left. Gabriel Carlsson, top 4 defensive prospect. They free up money because they can do whatever they wanted to do. They still have their pieces like Landeskog and whoever else. They can go into free agency and spend money on pieces instead of Larson. Sam Steele, I don't know, he's a good prospect, but I don't know, they don't seem to have high trade value on him. He is an 83 overall, 24 years of age. Maybe they're not happy with how he's growing. Yeah, he's having a career year, but I don't know. If they're losing this badly, maybe this means they want to make changes. So what do you say to this, Bob Murray? Still just a bit low. I'll give you Toronto's 6th, and I'll give you back your 7th then. 3rd, 6th, and a 7th. Bit low. Make it a 5th next year, and trade accepted. Happy to accept this proposal. We consider it a done deal. That's huge right there. That is a huge trade. Not know if it's in blockbuster territory, but moving Max Domi, something had to just happen on this team. And when the offer presents itself like that, I don't think we can pass up on it. Gabriel Carlson, we keep Kyle Wood and everything, but I'd rather have Adam Larsson on that second defensive pair. I'd rather have Marc-Andre Fleury as our goalie to end this season and maybe even next year. And I'd rather have a good prospect like Sam Steele to grow at a cheaper price tag. So let's fix up the lineup and see how we look. And done. +3 within the top 6. What we can do is put Boone Jenner on the top line for the +5 and then put Texier on the wing here with Steele. Only a +1, but at least it does get the plus. So basically what I'm saying is +3 or +5 +1. A tale as old as time. Maybe even +1 on the second and third line. So I have to figure something like that out. Simmons would probably go to the fourth line. Rozovic would swap. Robinson would swap with Shaw. So that's a possibility. I want to roll with the changes that I made before I start making more line changes. But +3, Sam Steele has a great fit within the top 6. He is a former first-round pick. He's 24 years of age, still has some time to grow. The Ducks needed answers now, perhaps. Like I said, I'm not gonna argue too much. If they want to make that deal and they got good pieces back and they're happy with it, then so be it. They got good picks, good pieces. I'm not going to cry. Adam Larsson, +5, huge with Justin Falk. So instead of Falk Wood being 92 and 85, it's 92 and 88. Could be a huge difference for us. Larsson gets penalty kill time, etc. We have Marc-Andre Fleury between the pipes. We made the changes we need to make. The fans were calling for changes. The moves were made. GM Data pulled the trigger when it needed to be pulled. And now we move into the final, 20, 30 games of the season. Where are we? 20 games of the season. And we will see if those changes were enough to try and get as high in this division as possible. So I don't want to make any moves at the deadline because that messes up all the lines, but of course we always just go in, do our due diligence, see what's up. The Ducks have Rask, Bergeron, Klingberg, Carlson, Barry, Olofsson, Leddy, Subban, a lot of big names on the block here. I don't really see anybody that I'd go after. I already went after the people I wanted to go after. So just always a little bit of curiosity, but I will go ahead and exit because even if something got offered to us, there's nothing that I really want to do at all. Around the NHL, though, John Klingberg with a prospect Lewis, unless it's Trevor Lewis, go to the Avalanche for a first and a second. That's all it took. But the Avalanche are a 500 team, so I guess their picks had more value. That's a huge move right there, Dallas dumping John Klingberg. At the draft, we could dump whatever, Nathan Gerbe, whoever else we're not going to be keeping long term, but I didn't want to just make a bunch of moves for 7th at the deadline there and have to fix all my lines. So we moved to the deadline without making any other additional moves, and we're ready to take on the Sharks with a new look. And by the way, the team we just traded Marc-Andre Fleury for, that's true, eh? The new look Columbus Blue Jackets with Marc-Andre Fleury between the pipes against the team that he just came from. Let's do it. First period, 0-0. Second period, 1-0. Jack Rozovic on Chris Driedger. So basically just swapping dressing rooms here. And that is a 1-0 lead for us now. Power play for the Sharks. We kill that one off. That is crazy. It just both goalies, not only did they get traded for each other, they're both the starters here a day later. Still 1-0 Jackets with under 10 to go. Power play for the Sharks, and Logan Couture capitalizes, ties it up at 1 with 5 to go now. But Oliver Bjorkstrand comes back late, under 4 to go. Could that be the game winner against Chris Driedger? And it is enough as Wayne Simmons adds the empty netter, and the Blue Jackets win it 3-1 the final. Marc-Andre Fleury making 33 saves on 34 shots in his debut with the Blue Jackets. Bjorkstrand with the game winner, and that is a huge 3-1 victory for the Blue Jackets. You absolutely love to see it. Let's keep on simulating. Now we're smiling. Now we're flying. Let's go see, another divisional team perhaps. Let's go see, actually there's no divisional rival matchups for a little bit till the Capitals. So we'll go see them then. Okay, so it seems like Zach Werenski's injured here. Don't know how or why. I got a message that Clendenning was injured in the AHL. Went to fix it. Then when I exited, it said, "Oops, by the way, you have lines you need to fix." So I guess that means Zach Werenski's out. Don't know how long or for what, but I suppose we'll just make these appropriate changes, and Dean Kukan can come back into the lineup. But hopefully he's not out for long. We'll see in just a moment once I fix all the lines. In a second here. Mild concussion, out until March 6th. So I already changed it, but what day are we at now? We're at March 1st. Okay, so not a big deal. But then back-to-back losses there, 4-2 and 3-1. Buffalo Sabres, we lose 3-2. So 3 straight losses of all these low-scoring games. Let's try and get back into the groove of things with our lineup at full health. There we go. Let's try and get back into it here against the Blues and then against the Hawks and then the Blues. Clendening fully healed. Great to hear that. Lovely. All right. Blackhawks, we lose to them in overtime. Whoa. Okay, shootout win. What's with all these one-goal games? All right, let's go. Devils and then the Red Wings. We win 4-2 and we win 5-2. Thank you very much. Let's go. These one-goal games. Marc-Andre Fleury putting on a show with these 2-1 performances, and you can't even get a few goals in. Tarasov and Bardin are both amazing right now. My goodness. I don't even know who am I going to take out to put Mattis in for. Mattis has not been good at all, so I guess I'll keep him out. We're never going to trade away Mattis, but if he can't play because of his performances, I guess he just can't play. We are 39, 28, and 4 at the moment, behind the Penguins, Rangers, and Flyers. We need win number 40 here in one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive divisions in the NHL. We're coming off 3 straight wins, so hopefully the momentum is still in our favor. The Capitals are 35, 32, and 6. They're fighting for playoff life, and we're just fighting for divisional title life. So it's not going to be an easy one. 2 teams that are hungry. First period, 2-1 for the Caps. Early power play goal from Kuznetsov, and then another power play goal from Lars Eller. Alex Texier keeps us in it, though. Shots 17-11 after the first period, so a lot of shots from both teams. Second period now, no scoring. Shots are 24-17 for the Caps. We're down by 1. We need someone to get through. Ilya Samsonov, and it is Boone Jenner. 2-2 game, but then Nicholas Backstrom comes back less than a minute later. He knows the Capitals very well, and they know him from his days on Pittsburgh. 3-2 for the Caps, now 4-2 as Daniel Sprung extends it. Power play for Washington, 5-2. Oshie. Who's taking these penalties? Roslovic makes it 5-3, down by 2 with under 5 to go, but no one else has anything going. Fantastic. Shots 40-28, leaving Fleury out to dry. 40 shots against, and just taking penalties left and right. Not even penalties left and right. Well, the first period, yeah. But just penalties that the Capitals are capitalizing on. So the penalty kill has not been good. Let me check out the numbers here in the team standings. Flames have already clinched a playoff spot. They're killing it this season. So we are, let's see where we are. We're 15th in the NHL. We're being scored against more than we are scoring. That does not make sense. Penalty power play at 17.4 is kind of middle ground, and penalty kill, where are we? Around the middle as well, 82.1%. So both our special teams could be improved. This is just disappointing stuff, guys. Come on. I'm gonna try the +5. Let's go for it. Let's just go full send here. Texey's been great, so I don't want to move him to the 3rd line, but we do lose the +3 if I move him to the 2nd. We'll try it, though, and Simmons can move to the wing, Robinson will move to the 4th line, and Kurashev can move up and be 3rd line center. Sam Steele, since he came over, he has 7 assists in 10 games with a +1. All right, not too bad. And defense, Adam Larson, since he has come over, he has 2 points and a -1. Need those plus-minuses, guys. Need those plus-minuses. Fleury has been 3-3-1 with decent numbers. We need it, guys. We really need people to wake up and play strong. Then Roslovic can go center on the 4th line. And yeah, we'll keep it like that. All right, let's hope and cross our fingers for that +5 on line number 1. Let's hope that they can just carry. And we're going up against the Toronto Maple Leafs now. Wayne Simmons against his old team. Andreas Athanasiu against his. Not going to touch the special teams yet. Going to hope that that +5 does what we need. They haven't been terrible, the special teams. Just middle of the pack. First period, 2-1 Toronto. Budker and Marner. Power play goal. Justin Falk for us. Second period, 5-2. Power play Spezza. Wow. Simmons the lone goal for us. Man. All right. Sam Steele, first goal as a Blue Jacket. We're within 2 now. 5 minutes into the 3rd period. Lots of hockey left to be played. Shots are 31-20 for Toronto. Halfway through the period. Nothing going. Power play opportunity now. Let's go. No capitalization on the power play. And we lose 5-3. Really shocking stuff. Really shocking stuff. Okay, special teams overhaul here. Here's how it looked before, and there's how it looks now. Not much of an overhaul, to be honest, but just mixing and matching and swapping and doing whatever we got to do. Let's get scoring on this first unit instead. Let's get Falk over here. 4-man power play. I don't know what. Just move some stuff around for penalty kill. Penalty kill's fine. There. Just power play, 4-man power play. Keep rolling with the +5 on line number 1. And let's just hope and pray that that's enough to just... Come on. Don't tell me we're not going to make the playoffs at this point. This is really disgusting. 39-30-4 is the record. Let's go see this game against the Penguins, which will be a huge matchup. And then the Capitals as well. So as time is winding down, 3-2 win against the Predators. Let's go. 4-2 win against the Senators. Come on now. And then the Hurricanes, 3-2 win against them. Play them again a couple days later, and we get shut out 4-0. We're 42-31-4. The playoffs have not been clinched. Only the Flyers have clinched in the division so far. We're 2 points behind the Rangers, and we are 3 points behind the Penguins. This is... I can't even express enough how important this game is. It is so important. Marc-Andre Fleury against his old team as well. I'm going to make sure that he's between the pipes. I'm not going to touch anything else. There we go. Korpisalo can get the game against the Capitals. Hopefully this goaltending tandem can actually do something. They're playing as well as when I had 84 and 83. Now it's 88 and 84. Let's go. At Nationwide Arena, at home against the Penguins. Let's do it. First period. Second period. Back-to-back power. Okay, there you go. There's a power play goal. Yay! Power play goal. Woohoo! Okay. I took a little walk. Went to eat some lunch. Now I'm back. 31-29 the shots, and Casey DeSmith became prime Dominic Hasek. And we lose 4-1 to a very important divisional rival in a season wherein it is the tightest race ever. And the Flyers and the Rangers and they're all good now. The Hurricanes are terrible, thankfully. And the Capitals aren't that good, but we're still only up by 4 points on them. As we're about to take them on now at Capital One Arena. Okay. I'm not even going to slow sim. I don't believe in the slow sim anymore. It is junk. Give me a win here in the calendar sim. That's funny. That is so funny. I'm just going to keep simulating. I just lost all desire. Let's just keep going. 7-1 loss. I love it. I love it. I love it. Give me more. Give me another one. Against a team that's 32-43-5. Give me another one. 4-3 shutout loss. I love it. I love it. Let's just lose every game down the stretch with an amazing team that scores left and right like it's nobody's business, and then in the end of the season misses the playoffs. Let's just see how far we can go. Are we in the last spot right now? Hold on. Eastern Conference? No, that's it. That's it, boys. Wrap it up and call it a year. Missed the playoffs. Missed the playoffs. From divisional champions to 7-1, 4-3, 5-1, 7-2 losses left and right, 4-2 loss. Bang. Where did it go wrong? Where did it go wrong? How does this make any sense? 40 goals from Bjorkstrand. 33 goals from Laine. He slowed down, I suppose. Sam Steele, what did you do, Bello? You had 11 points in 20 games, -5. That's fine. But where are the plus minuses? Where are these coming from? How is Justin Falk? How does he go from an 84 overall who scores 57 points in 60 games and is a plus 24 to being an 87 overall who scores 45 points in 82 games and is a -17? Where is the logic? Werenski, 90 overall, 40 points. That's it. 40 points, 90 overall. Boone Jenner, -19. Wayne Simmons, since he came here, 16 points in 44 games. He fell off a cliff. He did nothing for us. Cam Atkinson scores 16 goals and 32 points, -12. Seth Jones, 88 overall, scores 32 points. What is happening here? -20 for Roslovic, -11 for Kurashev. Andrew Shaw's the only guy who did well. Larson, what did he do since he came here? He's playing with a +5. 88 overall, -4. -4. Kyle Wood, -18. How? Where does it all make sense? Where does it all make sense? Fleury, down the stretch, he goes 6, 7, and 2. 898 save percentage, 3.07 goals against average. Do I go and get the 83 overall Peter Mrazek, who is at a 905, or do I get Marc-Andre Fleury, who's 89 with 900? Oh, it sounds clear to me. I'll get Marc-Andre Fleury. Get sub 900 save percentage over 3 goals against average. Korpisalo, great record, not even the numbers, whatever, numbers okay. 33, 20, and 3. Should I have rolled with him as the starter? Half the people say trade him. Half the people say make him the backup. Another few people on the side say he continues being the starter. What are you supposed to do? He's terrible in the slow sim, good in the calendar. Do I keep him in the calendar and we win the division, but then we get swept in the first round? Where am I supposed to find the middle ground? I don't know. We made big trades, but now that's blow-up territory. That's blow-up territory right there. Werenski, Jones, that's blow-up territory. The fans are disgusted. So is the management. So is the manager. And I'm going to move anybody and everybody out of here. I don't even know what I want to look at. I don't care. I don't want to look at anything. I don't want to look at anything. Awards, I don't know what. Team stats. Show me team stats, I guess. I just got to end this video. I got to go lie down and watch Star Trek. Let's see it. Let's see it. Entire NHL. Let's go. Here we go. Blackhawks win the NHL, win the President's Trophy. We just let in so many goals down the stretch. Fleury was so bad down the stretch. We are 81.1% on penalty kill, 18.2% on power play. Blow it up, man. Blow it up. View contracts. What do we have to figure out moving into next episode? Are we extending Jenner, Roslovic, Shaw? Yeah, Foodie for sure. Roslovic, does he still want like $14 million for 8 years? No, he can take 2.5. He was terrible, so I don't know if I want to keep him. Jenner wants $3 million, could probably keep him. Andrew Shaw, probably gonna let him go. The goaltending. What's happening with the goaltending? Why is it such a complex situation? Fleury wants $6 million. Korpisalo wants 4.4 for being terrible. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Trade everyone's rights, and then blow it up and go through free agency with money? Trade Korpisalo and Fleury at the draft. Trade everybody for picks. Accelerated rebuild, maybe? View draft class. What kind of pieces should we be looking at? I don't know. Next season's the off-season, so... Nicholas Vikingstad. That's a cool name. Similar to Patrick Kane. These guys are medium elite. They're all NHL ready. This guy, Sebastian Albrecht, NHL ready. Felipe Sanderson, he's NHL ready. Brad Lambert, I wouldn't say he's really NHL ready. He's like a 77 overall. Any of these guys in the top would be interesting. A lot of medium elites down here. Defensive defenseman, medium elite. Hanu Maki. Similar to Rob Blake, he's NHL ready. I don't know what to say. This guy Popovich, I scouted him. I literally scouted him many times. He's still being scouted. He better get scouted. If we're picking at like 16, 17 or whatever, it'd be someone around here. Theodore Kurtz, I don't know. I'm sending these scouts out nonstop. No one's doing their job in scouting. I really don't know what to say. I am absolutely disgusted. Absolutely disgusted with this team. Down the stretch, terrible. 0-5-1 in our last 6 games. 0-5-1 in our last 6 games to end off the season. Yeah, the divisions were strong. The Eastern Conference was very strong, actually. The Atlantic was really crazy. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. People want to see how the created players did this season, I suppose. But, man, I'm just simming to the end of the postseason. Warfrazenko on the Devils grew to an 87 overall. He scored 19 goals, 15 assists, 34 points, negative 27, 92 penalty minutes. He is still medium elite. He is a monster. Other creative player, Ralph Recker. He had 23 goals, 22 assists, 45 points in his rookie season with the Flyers. Michael Oliver and the Buffalo Sabres scored 39 goals and 43 points. Sheesh. The grinder with 5-star shooting. And then over in goaltending, Mikey LaForge up to a 90 overall. That was his record for being a 90 overall. Coconut Hobbs, sub 900 save percentage. That makes sense. And Drew McIntyre still in the minors with Calgary. I don't even know who I want to look at for players that we used to have. Just especially want to look at Max Domi. But I don't know if there's anybody else we want to see totals on. With the Anaheim Ducks, he ended off the season with 9 points and a +2 in 20 games. So he's going to have a nice career over with them in the Western Conference. Should we have done it? I don't know. Hindsight's 2020. Moves had to be made, and it looked good. It just fell apart. Sam Steele, hopefully he's here and he grows, but I don't know. I'm open to literally trading anyone and everyone. No one is safe, not in the slightest. In the AHL, the season is still finishing off. We're 52, 17, and 5. Foodie is just a machine down there as well. So let's say we finish off the season there. 3-1 win against the Phantoms, and then the Syracuse Crunch ended off with a win. 54, 17, and 5 being the record. So let's just get through the playoffs. I'm drained. I have nothing to say. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. Time to make insane deals. I don't know. Werenski and Jones in the same deal. Blockbuster for 2 other defensemen. I don't know. Anything. I'm down for anything. And the Tampa Bay Lightning win the Stanley Cup. Calder goes to the Toronto Marlies. In the AHL, we got shamed by the Marlies. We go 4-4 in the postseason, so that's cool. And yeah, that's just about it. Let's check out the awards, and let's just get the heck out of here. Oh, Stanley Cup to the Lightning. 2 cups in 3 years. Interesting that the 2019 finals was Tampa-Dallas, and then it went Tampa-Dallas-Tampa. Presidents to Chicago. It was Chicago and Tampa in the finals. Crosby wins the Art Ross and the Hart. James Norris to Carlson back-to-back years. Lady Byng, Patrick Kane back-to-back. Calder goes to Cole Caulfield. Conn Smythe to Kucherov. Vezina to Cam Talbot. Jennings to Cam Talbot. Masterton Coburn. Jack Adams, the coach of the Wild. Selke, the Ryan O'Reilly trophy, goes to Ryan O'Reilly. Lindsay to Crosby. Maurice Richard to Ovechkin. Liam Foodie wins the Art Ross, Hart, everything, all that good stuff. And whatever this is, dedication to hockey. That's great. How did our divisional rivals do? The Penguins beat the Rangers, Flyers beat the Maple Leafs, then the Flyers beat the Penguins, and the Lightning swept the Flyers to go on to win the Stanley Cup in 5 games against the President's Trophy winning Blackhawks. So congrats to whoever we traded to Chicago in the Philip Kurashev deal, whatever, he gets a Stanley Cup ring. And let's check out the draft board now. Where are we going to be drafting? 16th, I suppose, is what it is. It doesn't tell me even the pick, so we have to do the lottery. Imagine we win the lottery, though. If we win the lottery, it's all worth it. But I'm not getting my hopes up. It is all worth it. Salary cap goes up, inflation, and not even. 15th to 15th. Islanders go 3-1. Detroit 4-2. Buffalo 1-3. Yeah, and then other years it goes 12-1, 13-2, and 11-4. 11-3, and then the year that it's not us, it goes 3-1, 2-3, blah, 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 just little moves like that. Yeah. Joe Thornton calls it a career 1,622 points in just shy of 1,800 games at an 85 overall, no less. The guy could have kept going. Gabrick, Chara, Steen, Eriksson, Ladd, Nielsen, blah blah blah, all retire. Goaltenders: Chad Johnson, Jeff Zatkoff, legend. They all retire. Anyone on Columbus? No. Anyone on Cleveland? Just Hector Scarlett, whatever. Chara, Nielsen, Cogliano are all now scouts. Continue simming, and now we can see where our pick is. So looking at the draft board, picking, well, we already know that, but 15th. After that, we pick, like, what, 80, in the mid-80s. So pick 15 and then pick in the mid-80s. I'm down to move a lot of players to get a lot of picks and just find the people that we want to draft. It was a decent year for scouting, I suppose. So let me see here. A lot of medium elites. At least there's that. At 15, we'd be seeing like Connor Geeky or Sawyer DeVries. Don't know enough about him. He has 49 points, 3 years away, similar to Voracek. But I'm down to try and move up for one of these bigger guys, like Vikingstad. That's a really cool name. Or even Sebastian Albrecht. He could even go number 1, the scouts are saying, but it would probably be Shane Wright. Lacks size, but whatever. Anyways, anything you want to know more about, just let me know in a comment or on the Discord server. I'll send you pictures and tell you more about the prospects. We still have B and C rated scouts, so still tough to always get accurate readings on all these guys. But just sorting by potential. Anyone late? They can't even tell me anything about late guys who are maybe going elite. The best I have is 2 bars elite, which is a shot in the dark. Any late low elites maybe? I have tons of 1-bar elite. A terrible year for scouting. Why can't they just scout? I tell them to scout. Just tell me what they are. Okay, we're wrapping it up there. I don't know. Whoever you want us to trade, let me know. Progress reports. Who grew? Fleury down to an 86. What a joke he was. Atkinson down to an 82. He's probably gone. Simmons at an 80. He's gone. Like, let's just looking through the team quickly. I would be down to trade like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd be down straight all those guys. Cal Wood not growing at all with a +5. That was a joke as well. In the system, was there any good growth there? Durapost, our first round pick last year. From a 73 to a 74. That's cool. Argachinsev to a 71. We're calling it there. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Despite the frustrations, let's fix this team. Some people wanted to blow it up. Sometimes it takes the lowest of lows to get the highest of highs. We're going to blow it up. We're going to come back stronger. We win the division in year 1. Miss the playoffs in year number 2 in disgusting fashion. Year number 3, let's go all the way. Let's build the team that's going to get there starting now. Accelerated rebuild, even if it's not year 3, then year 4. Get the picks, get the players, move who we have to move, and make this team what we want it to be. Let me know all your thoughts down in the YouTube comments or in the Discord server. Link in the description. If you're enjoying the series and the rage and everything, leave a like for my sanity. Consider subscribing as well. A lot of stuff happening here on the channel, as well as the Twitch exclusive series over on Twitch for MLB The Show franchise mode. So check that out as well in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I gotta go lie down. I'll see you in the next one.